Good decision makers. So play breakers, playmakers, decision makers. The backcourts in this game have it all.
Javonte Brown jumping up with Abdou Timbila. And the opening possession to the Fordham Rams. And here we go, game number 2 of the A-10 tournament.
Coach Miller's a little old school, like Lawrence on Johnson right here. They don't switch a lot. He wants to keep his best defenders on those outstanding guards from Fordham. Not a lot of switching, but challenging Lawrence to lock down.
Stolen away by Jaden House. And House turning defense into offense is fouled.
It didn't take long. Obviously, it's easier to run off a turnover, but these teams want to go. The other interesting thing, and there you see the hands and pushing it, but neither of these teams are terrific three-point shooters in the backcourt. There's some good ones. Green, the power forward for Rhode Island's a very good shooter. Lawrence is a good shooter, but House and Thomas and for Fordham, Medor and Johnson, these guys are downhill paint attackers, rim attackers, push the ball. So whoever can keep the other team's guards out of the paint will have a big advantage.
House put up 19 in the last game against Fordham, 2 of 4 from deep, and that one, first few years at High Point, last couple of years with Rhode Island. Here's Ramad Dean. Dean to Johnson. Jackie Johnson, baseline, tough look. What a shot to get this game underway for Jackie Johnson.
Coach Miller, that'll make him crazy, but he's not surprised because of the degree of difficulty Johnson makes those shots. He shoots left-handed floaters, hook shots all the times, and makes them tough ones.
Lawrence drops it inside. Javonte Brown through the contact, no whistle, possession will stay. Thomas with the turnaround, and it rattles all the way around. Brown trying to secure it, and he's unable to do so. Jaffe Medor with the rock. Medor off the Timbila screen. Dean over to set a screen. Back to Timbila. 10 to shoot. Taking their time on the offensive end of the court. Jaffe Medor is fouled and an and one. As good things come to those who wait.
Medor, another player who goes to the free throw line a lot. So in our first game, we saw Reed Bailey. He has taken the most free throws in the A-10. Number 2, Sebastian Thomas for Rhode Island. Number 3, Jaffe Medor for Fordham. So the common denominator, these guys have positional quickness, explosive first steps. It's hard to stay in front of them. Free throws could be a big part of this. Rhode Island, as a team, goes to the free throw line more than anyone in the A-10. You don't go to the free throw line unless you're driving hard, and that's the style that both these teams use.
Medor has shot over 150 free throws on the season. He shoots it at 81% from the stripe, but terrific at getting to the line, as you mentioned. House over to Lawrence. Lawrence into the paint and booking.
That's called a catch and rip. Most defenses are between you and the ball. So if you catch it, you could rip opposite the pass before your man gets in front of you.
Timbila sets the screen. It's hooked away defensively, and possession will stay.
So watch this. His man's in the gaps. And you see, before Dean can get in front of him, he catches and rips. That's something that you drill on.
Marcus Lawrence, one of the team captains for Rhode Island. 5-4 start for Fordham. Medor, good hard defense put on by Jamarcus Lawrence. But a kick back and a Jackie Johnson 3.
How about the difficulty of the shots Johnson makes? And his coaches praise his work ethic. They said he would sleep in the gym if he can. And here's an observation. Smaller guys like Johnson, Thomas, they love basketball. They can't get enough.
And Javonte Brown was hit, and he will head to the free throw line for a couple.
There's there's nothing easy about this. This is way out there, hands in the face. How do you have the confidence and skill to do that? By living in the gym, reps after reps after reps. Little guys find basketball. Coach, is the gym open? Coach, can I practice? You know what happens with big guys? The coaches find them, man, you got to get in the gym. They make the 7-footers play. But the guards, they're the ones trying to clank through the windows and get in because they grew up loving it. Big guys, some of them love it. A lot of them play because they're big.
I got to say, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
You make me think of left tackles and right tackles in football. It's a prerequisite. You got to have the size. And a man hitting the deck as David Green pops back up to his feet without a whistle. 8-5 Fordham with a 3-point lead. Make that a 5-point lead as Tambilo rise and flush.
Fordham is ready for that. Rhode Island is going to guard pick and rolls aggressively. Get the ball out of the hands of the Fordham guards. That means the rollers are going to be open.
House thought he was hit, no whistle. And here comes Fordham. Over to Tripp. Tripp left wide open for a three, and that shot was well off the mark.
Well, here's where you got to stop Thomas. He gets far in transition.
Thomas with the dish. Jaden House with the spread.
That is Rhode Island basketball. Thomas got all the way to the rim, drew two defenders, kicked it out. They have to stop Thomas before he penetrates the three-point arc. In the paint's way too late.
Jaden House lapping it up and feeling it on his way back down the court. Jaffe Medor with Sebastian Thomas on it. Medor is fouled. That was Javonte Brown out to defend, and he got a piece.
Rhode Island is going to attack Medor on pick and rolls. You see the two defenders, that means the roller is open, and Fordham's prepared for this.
That's it.
Rhode Island wants to get the ball out of the guard's hands. What needs to be done a better job of, though, if Rhode Island's going to do that, is protecting the rim, rotating off a shooter. To Coach Ergo's credit on that play, he took his shooters high above the free throw line to make it harder to have help at the rim. When people talk about spacing, it's usually keeping people high and wide so that defenders have a hard time leaving a shooter wide open to try to protect the rim.
And Jaffe Medor has had no problems filling it up. 20 double-digit scoring games on the season for him. As mentioned, he gets to the free throw line a ton. Also the leading assist man this year with over 4 per game.
So Johnson, Medor, if their team had done better, they would be all-conference honorees. They missed the all-conference teams. They're good enough. Coaches, I'm sure, thought about voting for them, but there's so many good players in the A-10 that when the coaches vote, the tiebreaker is usually how well your team did. But this Fordham backcourt can match up with any.
Sebastian Thomas. Thomas takes his time as he flips it to his strong hand and gets the finish.
Look at the lefty hook shots and floaters we've seen already from Thomas and Johnson.
Jaffe Medor with Thomas on it. Over to Jackie Johnson. Screen comes out. Johnson takes his time, lines up a three and knocks it down.
So impressive. Number 2 scorer in the A-10. You can see he's electrical.
Jackie Johnson already has 8 in the first 5 minutes. Now Thomas trying to answer and can't hit it.
So I think that puts him on pace for an 80-point game if you do the math.
Yeah, I think that's about right. And he may get there. Johnson thinking about more points, and this time too strong. And it's brought down by Fuchs. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence can't hit. Jaffe Medor with the board. Now Medor is hit and fouled, and he will head to the line for a pair 16-point advantage for Fordham.
Whatever you could do, I could do better. Left-handed, big-time quick guards, making plays, going back and forth. Johnson from deep. We got a backcourt back.
Called it awful. He
felt they were able to solve that in that final regular season game against Fordham, and the team definitely feels better about where they are heading into this next phase of the season. But Jack and Doc, it is a 71% start for Fordham from the field in this game.
Well, copy that. Good info across the board as Jaffe Mador heads back to the free throw line, and this has been a familiar sight. Jaffe Mador has had no problem getting to the stripe in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, guys who get fouled, there is a lot to that, because the most efficient shot in basketball is not a layup, it's not a three, it's free throws. So guys who have that knack of getting fouled help your team immeasurably.
Shoots it at 81% once he gets there, so he will make you pay. Sebastian Thomas bring it down and gives it up to Jamarcus Lawrence. And Lawrence has it stolen away by Mador. Mador wants to run with it, doesn't have numbers, and he'll pull it back out. Rivera, tough look, and can't hit. Sebastian Thomas clears the board.
Good job stopping him before he gets inside the arc.
Fuchs from deep, and Fuchs off the mark. Joshua Rivera with the rebound.
Stopping penetration, that ball getting in the paint is paramount for both teams.
Here's Matt Zona, who gives it to Mador. Now Zona trying to get the ball back and can't. Thomas wants to run with it. He gives it up, and at the rim, there's contact and a late whistle and a foul. It'll be David Green who absorbed that contact.
So the challenges for these teams, Kim alluded to it, they're not great defensive teams. That's one of the reasons they've struggled this year. They're also the two highest teams in turnovers per game. But what they try, if you're not good in the half court, you want to avoid it. How do you avoid it? By pushing the ball and running, hence the up-tempo style these teams play.
And a trap, an instant trap, and a double team on the inbound. And coach is fired up. Coach Keith Ergo was doing a couple fist bumps after that series defensively.
Yeah, just got him on the sideline. I don't even think that was a call. I think Riley just saw, oh my gosh, my man's taking a handoff right on the sideline. We can trap him here. Good decision.
How about this move by Jackie Johnson? And the finish to go along with the three-point opportunity after a unbelievable crossover into the lane.
So much to like there. Look at the splitting between the two defenders, but he's so low and quick. That's the kind of traits that allow you to split those ball screen defenses. And then we've talked about it already this game. His ability to make floaters is uncanny. The best floater in the A-10. So we talk about Chris Mooney. He says don't be afraid of small guards because they've always been small. Johnson has figured out how to shoot that floater throughout his basketball career.
And Jackie Johnson into double figures. He has 10. Traore, and Traore with a nice move in the lane. A little spin around and a 2. It's 20-12. Mador calls for Riley to come get him. Zone out to set the screen. Mador from 3, and he reigns it home. Hit the ground after the shot was released. He thought he was fouled, and he's still talking to the ref about that contact.
Johnson and Thomas rightly get a lot of attention, but Mador might be the most underrated guard in the A-10. Top 10 in scoring, towards the top of assists and steals as well.
Mador has 11. This pass somehow gets across and goes up for a 2. It's David Fuchs who put it home. Here's Riley over to Zona. Zona back to Johnson. And now with 10 to shoot. Here's Zona. Zona spins around, shot won't go, and the rebound is cleared by Rhode Island.
Walled up by Fuchs, wouldn't let Zona anywhere near the rim.
Sebastian Thomas, left hand from the right side, shot won't go. Jaffe Medor scanning the defense and taking his time. Joshua Riviera. And Rivera kicks. This is now Jackie Johnson. Johnson somehow gets past his defender, and he is fouled. Johnson is a problem to defend, isn't he?
Well, Johnson's a problem. Medor is too. The Fordham backcourt is outstanding. Medor making free throws. Yeah, just outstanding guards as we expected in this play, in this game, and we haven't been disappointed.
Jaffe Medor has 11. Jackie Johnson has 10, and Johnson heads to the free throw line to play add-on.
The Fordham guards each scoring over a point a minute. Pretty good.
Sure. It's a lot, yeah.
A lot of it from the free throw line.
Plus points and 5.
And Johnson able to get the roll. There's some start here for Fordham. Up 11 already in nearly the first 9 minutes of play. Sebastian Thomas trying to quiet things down. Thomas taking his time, and now Thomas off the glass, way too strong, and possession will stick here. Thomas gets it in. It's Traore. Traore over to set a screen. And Estevez kicks it back across, and it's tipped. And once again will stay. Just 2.7 to shoot as Rhode Island has taken her time. And then quickly Thomas gets it, and Thomas can't hit. Still a pretty good look for not having any time. Medor to Tripp. Tripp can be physical on the inside. Now here's Jackie Johnson. Johnson with a crossover. He gets to the rim but can't complete the play. And it's scooped up by Fuchs. Back to Fuchs. He's left wide open. They're going to let him shoot. Fuchs won't do it.
Tambila picked up Thomas in transition and stunned Thomas, didn't attack the bigger player.
Fuchs to the left hand, and Fuchs can't hit into the arms of Tambila. This start more about the Fordham offense or defense for you?
Well, I would have to say both of the above. If it was multiple choice, if I could choose all of the above, I would choose all of the above right now.
Then some start for the Fordham Rams. And substitutions come in on either side.
The issue with Fordham, and we talked about it, the guards in this game are outstanding penetrators, and who can keep the other out of the lane. And right now, Fordham's just getting better penetration. So Rhode Island's really going to have to do a better job individually and in ball screens.
Thomas to Green. Green, physical drive into the paint, can't complete. And now this is a loose ball that's scooped up by Fordham. Ahead to Medor. Medor to the lane. Look at the English he put on that basketball to complete a three-point opportunity.
Everything we expected. Up-tempo, fast break, dynamic guards, guys who can score and get fouled, and it all just happened on that possession. And again, Medor is the most underrated guard by far in this league. 12th in scoring at 15.5 points a game. He is 4th in assist, 7th in steals, so he's top 12 in scoring, assist, and steals, and a high assist to turnover. What a backcourt with Johnson and Medor.
And he has been around, talking about Medor, freshman and sophomore years at Santa Fe, junior year at Hillsborough College, senior year at UTSA, and then a couple of years at Fordham, now a grad student. Here goes House. House can't get a bucket. Rhode Island can't find a basket anywhere. 28-14 as Medor goes right back to the rim. He's getting the calls, why not? And back to the free throw line, he will walk.
You know, I know Bailey has drawn the most fouls in this league, and Thomas has drawn the second most, but in this game, Medor is literally unguardable without fouling him. So I like this term I've heard recently. Actually, St. Louis coach Josh Schertz talks about it. Confrontational drivers. Guys who want contact, want confrontation when they drive. It works out well, but it takes quickness, strength, and a mentality. Medor, Thomas check every box on that, but right now it's Medor getting it done.
The interesting part about watching Medor is he is able to finish through that contact, put the spin on the basketball, as Lawrence has picked up 3 fouls on the other side for Rhode Island. And he is 9 for 9 from the free throw line, talking about Jaffe Medor.
So I don't know if Tambila, Fordham Center, has a block yet, but I guarantee you he is a deterrent in the paint. He is a big reason for Fordham's defensive success. I mean, they're up 30-14 by 16 right now. That means you're dominating on both sides of the ball. And I know this about Fordham's defense. Tambila's the anchor. When he plays well, they're a completely different team.
Here's Thomas with the floater, and Thomas a much-needed basket for the Rams.
Tough shot, but I even harken back to Tambila stopping Thomas in transition. He is an X factor, not offensively, but defensively. He was pricked preseason, all defensive team, did not earn that, but he's very capable of being an elite defender. And when he is, different Fordham team.
And that bucket stops a 7-0 run. Now Dean from the corner missed the shot, but he is fouled. Jaden House tried to recover defensively and recovered a little too far.
So this is a big problem for Rhode Island. They have several problems right now. But usually, and you see here the foul on the three-point shot, usually Rhode Island dominates the free throw battle. They make more free throws per game than anyone else in the A-10. Fordham has completely flipped that on them. This is going to be 15 free throw attempts right now for Fordham to Rhode Island, who's only had 4. That's dramatic and a complete reversal of Rhode Island's strength. If people are beating you at your own game, that's not good.
How did you coach defenders on defending and reaching the high hand of a shooter, in particular from 3?
Yeah, it's knowing who you're guarding. For example, Dean would not, I would be upset if we fouled Dean. Now, like in the next game, Gibson, Jimerson, or an elite three-point shooter, a hand in the face doesn't bother those guys. You've got to try to get a hand on the ball, and sometimes you're going to foul them. But I'd rather put him on the line than have a guy make 7, 8 threes in a game. So the great shooters, I don't mind fouling because you really got to get a hand up on the ball. If you're not in that description, you got to have body control, avoid contact.
Here's House. House kicks it back out for a three-pointer. That won't go. Here's Green fighting for a rebound, and an offensive rebound for Rhode Island. House, one more pass. Cam Estevez with it, who gives it back to House. House with the spin, and the shot is well off the mark and scooped up by Jameer Tripp. This has just been complete control of the game to start for Fordham. Tripp slips it inside, and Dean is fouled. Roma Dean will head to the free throw line when we come back. 33-16, the Fordham Rams are rolling.
He gets steals. He's a playmaker, play breaker. It's what you want in your guards, and the Rams have 2 of them.
And not only are they going to the line, they're making them. How about 14 of 15 from the free throw strike to begin this game?
I don't understand why I'm not on the network, because it would have been easy otherwise. I think he gets on.
Roma Dean heads to the strike, shoots it at 69%, and Dean hits the first. And Dean is known as the rebounder for this group, leading rebounder on the roster, 5.7 boards per game. He has 9 double-digit scoring games on the season as well, but just 1 since the start of February.
Coaches give Dean a great compliment. They say he embodies everything we believe in on and off the court. As a student, as a player, hard worker, responsible, low maintenance, unselfish, tough, high character guy.
Estevez kicks it back out for House, and House is fouled.
So watch the heels of Fordham. They usually extend and pick up in pressure. They respect the penetration of Thomas and House so much they want to have their heels on the three-pointer, be in gaps. Right there, see the heels on the three-pointer? They don't want to extend and challenge. They just want to keep them out of the paint.
Thomas with the drive and kick. Now Sebastian Thomas back out to get it. Under 10 to shoot. Shot clock at 5. Thomas, a slip pass that's stolen away into the arms of Tripp. And Medor, who has just taken hold of this point guard position for Fordham. Back outside for Zona. Now Dean with an open 3. Dean knocks it down.
Fordham looks tremendous. They are together. Look at this game plan, protecting the paint, not extending.
Here's Thomas, made the defender fall down, and Thomas gives it up, and an and-one opportunity for Rhode Island. That's David Fuchs, who drew the contact and able to complete the play.
And you're not going to keep Thomas out of the lane forever. The #1 assist man in the A-10. The game plan is to keep him out of the arc, but someone as good as Thomas, you're not going to do that for a full 40 minutes.
Fuchs too strong, an offensive rebound brought down by David Green. Green is fouled, and Green now has an and-one opportunity. So back to back and-one opportunities for Rhode Island. They need all the points they can get.
It is not common to get offensive rebounds off missed free throws. Green got 2 in the last game against Fordham. This guy's relentless. He refuses to be boxed out, and this is the kind of play that can give a team momentum.
And that's too strong. How about another offensive rebound? And this time Fordham is able to get a stop defensively after back-to-back and-one opportunities and offensive boards. Here goes Johnson and Johnson. A nice answer on the other end of the court. It's a 20-point lead for Fordham.
That's just ridiculously good. To drive that hard, stop on 2 feet, shot fake, pivot. Again, a testament to the hours. Some people say not in the gym, but in the lab that Johnson's putting in.
Cam Estevez on the jumper is fouled.
Watch the footwork on this play. Yeah, the drive. First, there's the quickness. Can't stay with them, then stop, fake, pivot. That is not by accident. That is something that he has done many thousands of times, and the work is shown.
So Cam Estevez to the stripe. He's appeared in 30 games, but just 1 start for him. And just kill him at the free throw line. That's been the story of the beginning of this game as Estevez tries to get Rhode Island going from that spot, and he hits it.
And a complete flipping, where that is normally Rhode Island's strength. More made free throws than anyone in the A-10, top 30 nationally. Not today.
And Estevez, he scored 12 points while hitting 4 3-pointers against Fordham, and that was back on March the 8th.
Estevez has been hot lately. He's made 9 of his last 18 threes, but just the momentum today and the physical energy of Fordham is palpable.
Dean left wide open, and that shot is way too strong. Offensive rebound, back to Johnson, and he is well off the mark for an air ball. Dean tried to save it one more time, but no luck.
So a comment about Tambila. At the end of practice yesterday, Fordham circles up, and Coach Ergo lets anyone speak who wants to. And Tambila in his last week of college basketball made an impassioned message to his teammates and showed his appreciation. And man, he's playing like a guy whose future is riding on it. He doesn't want this to be his last game.
Attacking the basket, everything but the finish for Jaden House. Jaffe Medor off the screen. Medor scans the defense, now kick it back out for a three-pointer, and that hit the backboard before the rim. Hard-fought rebound, and possession is going to stick with Fordham.
If I'm Coach Ergo, I noticed that Dean shot a three off the backboard. Rivera shot a three off the backboard. And prior to that, we were getting in the paint and going to the free throw line. So I would try to get back to what was working. Ooh, no one's guarding. Ooh, they almost left Dean wide open. No one knew who had him.
Tambila to Jackie Johnson. Johnson with 10 to shoot. Now 5 to shoot. To Rivera. Rivera going to create his own offense. Or maybe not. It's an air ball.
So now we got 2 off the backboard and an air ball.
Here's Thomas. Thomas taking his time. Just cannot get it cleanly off the backboard. But he's fighting for the rebound and able to draw a jump ball out of all that.
I don't like Fordham's shot selection, and I don't like the fact that Thomas is getting to the rim on this play, or that Thomas is able to attack this rebound. Yeah, Fordham should be very happy with being up 18, but they can't relax either if you want to maintain that.
Estevez. Estevez drops it inside to Fuchs. And Fuchs in the post draws contact.
They got a long way to climb back into this, but Rhode Island's done a lot of right things over the last minute and a half over here. Attacking in transition, getting it inside, forcing Fordham into bad shots, protecting the paint. You notice Johnson and Medor have been quiet lately. But 18 is a pretty deep hole right now for the Rams.
Jackie Johnson and Jaffe Medor are both having a conversation with the ref. Johnson trying to make things good again. The ref kind of shook his head at the conclusion of it. There was a little dialogue both directions, and here we go from the free throw line with David Fuchs. Fuchs, the leading rebounder for Rhode Island. 7.5 rebounds per game, so a big number from Fuchs.
But here's what's fascinating about Fuchs. He is the 3rd leading rebounder in the A-10, only playing 23 minutes a game.
Right.
If you look at analytics, his defensive rebounding rate is 17th best in the country. He gets 27% of the defensive rebounds in the game, so he just goes for them and vacuums them up and puts up big numbers in limited minutes.
6'9", about 250.
And can move.
He sure can. Tambila. Now Johnson, rise and shoot, write that one down.
So skilled. And when you're quick, you use that mid-range, because his legendary A-10 coach John Chaney said, don't go in the trees. Know where you can score. Johnson knows exactly where to get those floaters in mid-range.
Johnson has 16, but a three-point answer out of Jaden House.
And Fordham's willing to give some of those up to keep the ball out of the paint, because they know Rhode Island's bread and butter is penetration, getting to the free throw line. And fast break.
Rivera to Medor. Medor thought about slipping it back to him. Now he gives it to Rivera. Rivera to the rim.
Rivera's a tough matchup. 6'6", 6'7", really strong and athletic. He's one of the best 6 men, or as I call him, 6 starters in the league.
Fuchs from downtown. Turning around and letting the bench know about it.
Fuchs is bringing the energy, and all of a sudden it's 14, and Rhode Island has a chance to go into the locker room with this being a single-digit game. And I talked about feeling Fordham's energy. I feel Fuchs for Rhode Island.
It is a 14-6 Rhode Island run. Medor wide open. You don't want to do that.
What an answer, though. Johnson's penetration, Medore's shot making. These guys, I love the combination in Fordham's backcourt. High level.
And Thomas back to the free throw line. He will go 47-30. Rhode Island creeping back into it. Fuchs from deep, but you don't want to step away from it.
What a start.
What a start is right. Both these teams are shooting it at 50% from deep. The only difference is that Fordham has made 5 out of 10, and only 3 over on the side of Rhode Island.
And a ton of Fordham free throws. But you're right, Medore's 3 kind of stopped a run that Rhode Island was making.
And Thomas able to convert.
And remember, because these teams are so up-tempo, there's just more possessions in the game. So more of a chance for someone to come back and erase the deficit.
Zona to Riley to Medore. Jaffe, Medore, he's just been the best player on the court so far, and that his first miss, as you pointed out, Dr. John. It's scooped up by Zona. Now Rivera, and Rivera threw some contact, no whistle, but the finish.
Jabunji played great defense on Medore, but defense isn't over till you finish. Offense, you finish with scoring. Defense, you finish with the defensive rebound, and no finishing by Rhode Island.
Estevez, he floats one to Thomas. Back to Thomas. Thomas gives it up at the last second. Just a masterful pass by Thomas right there at the rim, and an easy finish by Jabungi. Johnson, the tight defense on him. He will use that tight defense to create space, then blocked away by Jaden House.
#1 assist provider in the A-10. He gets it off penetration, but dribbling isn't the only way to penetrate. Cutting's another way.
Johnson thought about giving it up. Instead, he'll take the 3. Estevez off the screen. Fuchs was calling for the basketball. Tough turnaround, shot instead. That won't go, but a foul on the rebound.
Jabunji's given great energy to Rhode Island. There's the offensive rebound. He has been guarding Medore and doing a good job of it. Yeah, I see a lot of life in Rhode Island over the last 5 minutes. I think Fordham stunned them at the start of the game, but they're starting to respond, trying to cut this lead into single digits.
So Jabunji out of France, unable to hit. Dr. John, give me some idea of recruiting internationally in the A-10. How do you find the players? How do you go get them?
Really hard, and sometimes players come to the U.S. and go to high school or prep school because they want to come here, but pure international recruiting is what Davidson does. So Coach Bob McKillop had some players at Long Island Lutheran when he was a high school coach 30 years ago that he liked. And he just thought this might be something for us to do. But to be good at it, you have to do what Coach McKillop did and go over there 4 or 5 times a year, do clinics, develop relationships. And it's a lot of work. You just don't go overseas and get really good players. They send players to coaches that they know and trust, and you have to build that.
Here is Medore, and Medore can't complete that play. Missed it at the last second. In and back out. Now Rhode Island trying to chop into this lead. Fuchs trying to give it up, and does. Here's Jaden House. House, a tough look. House knocks it down, and he is smiling as he makes his way to the other end of the court.
Tough shot.
11 points for Jaden House.
Yeah.
Some run by Rhode Island to cut this.
And I mentioned the energy that you could feel from Fordham. Well, right now, Rhode Island has come back. You could feel it on their end.
Johnson flashed to the rim. Instead, they'll slow it down, take their time with Jaffe Medore.
to start your play with about 8 seconds left, get a shot under 5, so you have a chance for an offensive rebound.
Two terrific guards matched up on each other with Medor and Thomas. Medor, physical drive, can't hit. Offensive rebound, scooped up. How about another? Here's Zona. Zona kicks it back to Johnson. And a last-second three, a pretty good look with time expiring, but well off the mark. It'll be a 12-point lead heading into the break.
It was 20. House, normally more of a driver, only shoots 21% in conference games on from three, but again, Rhode Island's been re-energized. You could tell that their pride was affected being down by 22. They said, that's not us. We're coming back fighting, and it's been chipping away.
Trying to get a pass through to Timbila. Too much traffic. Jammed him up, and Rhode Island gets the basketball back.
At some point, I would expect Fordham to play their 3-2 zone. Lately, Rhode Island has not been great against the zone, and it's something that Fordham's been working on, but they didn't need it in the first half.
Here is Thomas, and Thomas outside to House. House goes to the rim. He tried to slam it home, able to keep the possession alive. A three-pointer, that rattles out, and now Fordham will come down with the rebound. It's Timbila. Medor over to Johnson. Jackie Johnson with the handles. Johnson down low, beautiful pass. How about the handles? How about the pass into Timbila?
That's highlight worthy for sure.
Three-point look from the corner. That is a much-needed three out of David Green.
And Fordham talked about that in their prep, knowing Rhode Island runs on made shots.
But this start to the half. Back and forth. Jameer Tripp with a deuce. Lead is 13. Here goes House. House through contact is fouled, and he will head to the line for a pair.
So many possessions in a game like this with up-tempo teams. Look at this, spinning, hook pass. And here's an impressive thing about Timbila. He's having a good game. He's doing it while observing Ramadan. He is not, and Rhode Island pushing it off made shots, but Timbila not drinking any liquid or eating sunrise through sundown, and doing a great job while observing it.
So we're going to talk about Greenland or Iceland?
And House heads to the free throw line and hits the first.
No, thank you. I was just trying to get my ducks in a row, and I didn't communicate.
And House stays perfect from that free throw line. And he will pick up Johnson full court. Over to Dean. Medor trying to get the basketball, and now he does. Dean takes his seat as he slipped to the ground and pops right back up. Now Johnson with a rise and shoot from three off the mark. Dean with the board. Medor is wide open, and he left that well short. Johnson with another rebound, and he puts it back up, and it is contact and a foul. Let's check in with Kim.
Thanks, Shaq. I caught up with Archie Miller there at the half. He felt most of that first half their offense was really stagnant. He liked how they shared the ball better in that late surge at the end. And then he said we finally started getting some defensive stops. Those two guards throttled us. They spaced us out. So they're really going to be keyed on guarding the ball and trying to keep Fordham out of the paint. And then something else that's really important for him in this half is defensive rebounding. He thinks that will allow them to get out and play with a little bit more pace offensively.
Well, yeah, Kim, it was the free throw line from Medor as well as Johnson at the beginning of the game. They just could not miss from that free throw line, helped them build the lead. Able to get a miss out of Johnson there. Lead is 12. Rhode Island trying to get it back to 10. Brown is blocked away at the rim. Timbila with the rise and getting a hand on it. Kick it back for House. House into the lane, and House is fouled.
I mentioned it earlier, Timbila is a defensive X factor. When he is protecting the rim and dominating the boards, it's a completely different Fordham team. And we mentioned it while observing Ramadan. Timbila bringing great intensity.
Jameer Tripp picked up his third foul, so 3 on number 3. He'll take a seat. Joshua Rivera checks into the game for him. Three-point look is an air ball and an easy rebound for Abdul Timbila. Johnson to Timbila. Timbila off Thomas's arm. Possession stays alive. Now with 12 to shoot. Johnson into the lane. Johnson with a couple of defenders there. Gives it up. Rivera gets one up into the air. Off the mark. Gets it right back and kicks it out. And things will reset with 15 on the shot clock with Jaffe Medora.
And that's Coach Miller said we need defensive rebounds for stops and to run, and they're not getting them.
Medora into the paint. Takes his time patiently. That basketball was sitting on the rim. Timbila tried to flush it before it got off the rim, and Timbila came down with a little limp.
So the ball's on the rim, but and it was coming out. So it's not like Timbila took away a basket. That was definitely coming off, and you see the little bit of a limp. But what I love about it is Timbila attacking the rebound. And Coach Miller couldn't have been more right. Offensive rebounding, Fordham's offensive rebounding is a real issue right now for Rhode Island.
House gives it up, gets it back, now into the hands of Sebastian Thomas. Thomas in attack mode, and Thomas with the 2.
Fordham should have been prepared for that set because it's a common one for Rhode Island. But when Thomas comes off the screen and goes in for a layup, the people guarding the screen gave no support.
The lead cut back to 10. This just feels like a key defensive possession for Rhode Island. Dean able to get the defender in the air. Timbila with it. Timbila, good strong move off the glass.
I don't know if he meant to bank it, but he means to bring the heat. I love Timbila's mindset.
Sebastian Thomas. Thomas can't hit. Putback is there. Putback is out. And now Fordham comes down with the ball.
Timbila, the first one down the court as well.
Timbila into the lane. Tries to give it up. It's stolen away. And slammed home at the other end by Jim Beege. Quentin Jimbunji with the steal and flush. Johnson off the screen. Johnson wants a 3. Can't hit it. And Jimbunji with another board. There's Thomas. Thomas orchestrating the offense. Left hand high off the glass. How about that touch?
So Timbila, as well as he's playing, needs to give more support, helping on Thomas off of these ball screens. That's the second layup Thomas has gotten. Jimbunji gets the Rams off and running, literally, and then Thomas just not getting the penetration or the free throw attempts they have before, although they have been getting second and third shots, but not capitalizing on finishing them.
See if Fordham can answer. Jaffe Medora with the ball. Here's Dean. Dean back to Johnson with a Zona screen inbound. Zona was left all alone, didn't get it. Now Johnson to Medora, and a loose basketball scooped up by Thomas. Ahead it goes for a layup by Jimbunji.
Look at Jimbunji's size and strength. Yet he is often matched up against these Fordham guards and more than holding his own, getting stops.
Here's Zona. Medor. Medor thought about a three, now sets up his own three and knocks it home.
Really hard shot, off the dribble and with the hand in the face. I'm not sure if that's sustainable, though. If I'm Fordham, I need to start to get better opportunities.
Jaffe Medor has 22. To the rim, spin made it go close, but it rolls out and possession will stay with Rhode Island.
Transition starts with defense. Right there you see the stop, the steal, and then the run out. But it started with Jabunji getting the stop, forcing a bad pass, and then Medor with just the shot fake, sidestep. But that's not easy.
Dangerous inbound pass. Secured by Rhode Island, now with 12 on the shot clock. Here's Thomas. Thomas creates the space, then gives it away. Zach Riley comes up with a steal, and then a foul way too far from the basket. And Thomas is now in pain and limping over toward the Rhode Island bench, and he'll take a seat.
Yeah, that's highly significant. I can't think of maybe Bailey and Davidson, but I can't think of a player that does more for their team than Sebastian Thomas. On that replay, though, credit Riley. I love it when a guard gets stuck on a big guy and refuses to get posted up, stays in front.
Well, Thomas in pain and in foul trouble. He just picked up his fourth as he's getting medical attention over on the bench, and Johnson with another beautiful floater.
And I'm not sure that those two occurrences are separate. Johnson and Medor will certainly have an easier time of it with Thomas not in the game, because Thomas is an underrated defender.
Great pass down low. David Fuchs rise and flush. 61-52 is Sebastian Thomas getting worked on over on the seat. How do you navigate that if you're coaching Rhode Island?
There's a lot of time left. Thomas, a veteran player. I would trust him to play with some foul trouble. I'd get him in at the 8-minute media timeout. And play a little offense-defense. Take him out on dead balls when you're on defense.
I like it. Rivera into the paint. Rivera to the left hand, and he can't get the finish. Somehow gets it back. Rivera. And now it works.
Fordham's best offense in the second half is a missed shot, because they're struggling to get good ones, but the second, third shots are their best options.
What a steal from Jackie Johnson. Just picked the pocket of Jaden House.
Boy, the momentum swings in this game are so dramatic.
Johnson coming off the screen to get the basketball. He does not. Jaffe Medor taking all kinds of time. Now to Rivera. Rivera can't hit, and Jamarcus Lawrence the ball. Couple of subs to the scores table for Fordham. Three-pointer in the air, off the mark, into Tambila's hands.
Would love to see if Fordham can get a good look off a first shot. They have not in a very long time.
It'll be Romad Dean as well as Jameer Tripp to check in as Rivera brings in a teardrop. Wide open three-point opportunity, and why not step into it and let it go from David Fuchs.
That was a dare shot. That was drop coverage by Tambila, and Fuchs just takes the dare.
And Fuchs has 14.
Fuchs a really good player, mobile, strong. We talked about third best rebounder in the A-10 in limited minutes, and that was a really hard shot. Don't love Fordham's shot quality, even when they're making it.
Rhode Island hanging around. House ran into Fuchs. Possession stays alive. Shot is tough, and shot is off from Lawrence.
Fordham needs to get back to spacing the court, whether it's space, dribble drive, or ball screen, and try to get Johnson Medor downhill. Now here, even the tempo getting slower, they're only giving themselves limited chances at driving. Now that one works for him going into the timeout.
Johnson was hit and fouled, and he will head to the free throw line. Rivera, the high arcing three-pointer as Fordham. Good free throw shooter, doesn't get there quite as often as Jaffe Medor, but shoots it at 73% when he arrives.
It's easily digestible for Charlie.
They're talking to some people within Fordham's program. They call Jackie Johnson instant offense. Say sometimes, you know, if the shot's not falling, maybe he could shoot too much, but you live with the consistent and constant green light from him, because when he's on, it's magic.
And no question. Now, I mentioned the zone, and here it is, the press into the zone. Here's the changeup. Rhode Island has not been great against the zone as of late.
Into the paint, tough shot, nice roll by Jabunji.
So against the zone, you don't want to settle for just passing around and taking a contested jump shot. Attacking the paint, whether via post or dribble penetration, is the way to be aggressive against the zone.
Zona with the floater down low. It is caught in a foul there on Jameer Tripp.
So Tripp has had some foul trouble. 3 fouls, only played 11 minutes. Here's the number that jumps out at me. His plus minus in this game is 15, by far the best in the game. He hasn't scored a lot, but when he's in the game, it's gone really well for Fordham. We'll see if that continues now that he's back in.
And Jabunji has come on strong this half for Rhode Island. This shot off the mark. Zona knocks it out of bounds. Possession back to the Rhode Island Rams. But for Jabunji, 8 points in the game, and 6 of those have come this half.
And he is the best plus-minus player on the Rhode Island side.
Zona tried to steal it away. And he will come in to give Abdu a break. A little more offense at the 5 position is what they hope for out of him. First 4 years of college at Notre Dame, and now over to Fordham.
Your alma mater.
That's right. They're working a shot out here and there as you go. You know how it is. Lawrence with the kick. 3-pointer won't go. Over the back is Javonte Brown, and he is the guilty party.
So that was too open not to take by Jabunji, but that's also an example of not settling for shooting a 3 against the zone without any attempt to get the ball into the paint.
And that is 3 fouls on Javonte Brown, the 7-footer out of Toronto. Zona crosses the court. Kick out for Dean. Now with 8 to shoot. Dean through contact, and Dean was fouled.
And Fordham was in trouble there. House was making a play on the ball, but it's unfortunate for Rhode Island because that was a great defensive sequence. Fordham out of sync, running out of shot clock, but gets bailed out with that call.
Here we go.
3 fouls now on Jaden House. Sends Romad Dean to the free throw line where he shoots at 69%. And he hits the first. Third year with Fordham for Dean. You can easily put up 7 or 8 rebounds per game. They say sometimes you don't even realize it. You look down at the stat sheet, and that's what Dean has produced for you. As Zona will take a seat, and Timbila checks back into the game.
See if Rhode Island goes 3-quarter court press back into their zone to slow Rhode Island down, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So when you don't trap on a press, you're slowing the team down. When you trap hard, you're speeding up. Either you're going to get a steal or score, or they're going to beat the trap and get off running. So you could increase or decrease tempo with your press.
A whistle away from the ball. It appears they're going to get Jameer Tripp.
4th foul.
And that'll be 4 on Tripp. It sure will. And Tripp heads back over to the bench. .12-point lead for Fordham. with 8:30 to play in this second half. Here's Brown. Brown gives it to House. With 10 to shoot, Lawrence up top. Lawrence can't get the pass through. It's stolen away. Here comes Johnson. Johnson behind the back. Now the no-looker, and finished off by Javay Mador. All set up by Jackie Johnson. Other end, a quick answer from Lawrence.
So good to run off made shots. Both teams running.
We're off and running. It's Jabunji with the steal. Jabunji coast to coast, and he's fouled.
So it's Dean's deflection that originally got this fast break going. 12-point game. There's the deflection.
Bounds, 3 assists, and he just has been the ball handler, the handles throughout the course of this game for Fordham. It's a key player, the senior. Guards, guards, guards once you get into the tournament, and Jackie Johnson living up to the hype.
Interesting thing, though, Fordham scored on that fast break. We know these are the 2 best running teams in the A-10, but Rhode Island, 11 fast break points this half alone. So slowing down the Rhode Island Rams is important for Fordham. They thought that zone and that press could help slow down Rhode Island. We'll see if it is.
Jabunji to the free throw line, and he hits it, so the lead is 10. And that's 10 points for Jabunji.
And Thomas back in the game, as we thought, at the 8-minute median mark, and he's guarding the door, who's great at drawing fouls. I would just run some kind of space, clear out, dribble drive option from the door.
Johnson with Lawrence defending. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson comes to get it. Johnson, the crossover, the pull-up. My goodness.
And he's got more game. He's got the handle. He's got the step back. This guy's got a lot in his bag.
Jabunji tried to answer it through the contact. He will head to the free throw line.
We've seen floaters, hook shots, behind the back, no look, deep range threes. Now staring down a little cross and pull up. As I said, he's got a lot in his bag, man. He is so much fun to watch. So if there was a magic play or offense, everyone would run it. As great as Davidson and Richmond's half-court offenses are, you know, they have not had great success this season without great shooting. But my point is, you need guys who can create shots on their own. Since there's no perfect play or offense, a shot creator, an engine of your offense like Jackie Johnson, that makes it a lot easier on your team.
It was Lawrence who had the task of guarding him last time down the court. And now it'll be Jaden House.
If I'm a Fordham coach, I want the door to go at Thomas in space. No screen where someone could help. I just want him to go right at Thomas in space.
Johnson drops it inside, high off the glass. Shot won't go. Johnson comes and gets the offensive rebound. 3 to shoot. Johnson at the rim. Can't get the finish. Now Rhode Island wants to run. Thomas flips it back to Jabunji. Pass down low. Brown can't handle it. Javay Mador on the run up at the rim. That won't go. We have a track meet. Back the other way comes House. House to the left hand. House is hit and fouled. There's some fatigue on that court right now.
I was going to ask you if you're tired from watching it.
Just a little bit. Hands on hips, hands on knees. Little fatigue as House heads to the free throw line for some crucial free throws. And they're able to cut it back to 10. One out of 2 for House. Trying to figure out who the basketball was off. They're going to say it's off Rhode Island and Fordham ball. You could hear there was disagreement from the refs. Said off white. One ref heard white ball. And now after they have a conversation, it will be Fordham basketball. Over to Dean. With 15 on the shot clock, Jaffe Medor goes to work. Here's Zona. Rivera over to get it. Rivera creating some space. Shot won't go. And rebound scooped up by House. House into the lane. House hit. And House will shoot 2.
Rhode Island leads the A-10 in fast break points, and they are starting to really have success in transition. And Fordham's shot quality is not terribly great in this half, especially in the half court. And there's what Rhode Island does. They get to the free throw line. But as long as Rhode Island's getting shots in transition and Fordham's getting shots in the half court, that's a huge advantage to Rhode Island. When you're in transition, you get numbers, you get bad matchups because teams are scrambling on defense. You get to the free throw line, and right now, Fordham has to attack a set defense, and they haven't been very good at it as of late.
Rhode Island 16 of 24 from the free throw line, while Fordham is 20 out of 23. Big difference from the first half of this game on. Here's Dean. Dean taking his time. To the left hand he goes, and the whistle on top of it.
Love going, attacking the paint. And boy, Jabunji tried to do a good job of that, and Dean just drew the contact. I could have seen that call going either way. I think Dean caused that more than anything by being aggressive.
Dean has 10 points. That's his first miss from the free throw line. He was 7 of 7 prior to that shot.
Still a great job of stopping Rhode Island's momentum, and now you could set up your defense and keep Rhode Island out of transition where they're good. I expect, again, the three-quarter court press in the zone. Nope, they're going back straight man.
Lead back to 10. House comes to get it. House, hard drive, and House back to the line. In a familiar spot for Jaden House these last few minutes.
The backcourt battle is really a battle for the paint. We saw when Fordham struggled, they were taking a lot of contested threes, not getting the ball in the paint. Right now, Rhode Island is getting to the line consistently, and that is not by shooting jump shots, it's driving hard.
House able to hit, and Traore checks back into the game for Rhode Island. Sebastian Thomas still taking a seat with those 4 fouls. Check back into the game momentarily, and back over to the bench he went as House hits a both.
I really like the defensive substitutions by Miller to get the best chance possible of Thomas finishing this game out.
Arizona, nice backdoor cut. Pass a little too far. The kick out for 3, and Dean knocks it home.
Remember that save by Zona. It was a save/assist. That, if Fordham hangs on, that's a pivotal play.
Romad Dean has 14. Now an air ball on the other end. Another missed 3, and a foul is called on the rebound. Nice fight for position.
So you could drill, when you save a ball out of bounds, save it to a teammate. Be aware, make the save into a pass. And to do that at 6'10" is super impressive. That was, in my opinion, at least a momentum-changing play. I think in the long run, it could even be a game-changing play.
Quentin Jabunji has been all over the place. In particular, with the rebounds and the way he has fought down low, and especially when you have Timbila out of the game, there is nobody who physically can match up with Jabunji.
And that's from the wing position, and he's very valuable because Fordham, we talked about what they do well is offensive rebound. So now Jabunji gives you another good defensive rebounder, and he's having an impact.
And Rhode Island's last 8 points have all come from the free throw line as Johnson wants a three, and you better believe it.
Yeah, the shot making of Fordham is just able to keep Rhode Island at bay, and turning it over is obviously an extremely bad outcome late in the game for Rhode Island.
Now 25 points for Johnson, 24 points from Medor. So those two guys alone can cause you headaches. Zona gives it up. Rivera into the paint, high off the glass, and he got it.
Fordham's just playing with so much confidence. And you wonder where that comes from since they're the 15th seed. I would say their coach.
Backdoor cut, can't hit it. Jabunji gets it back. House for three. House was hit. There's no whistle. House is explaining his case that Zona got a piece of him, and he is still arguing that case. Fordham pulling away once again, 82. Done it from everywhere, and those two are the headline. Traore to the free throw line, and he's too strong. Two for Traore. He will take a seat as David Green checks back into the game for him.
A lot of time left if I'm Fordham. If I could attack this press and score, I'm doing it. If I'm in the half court, I'm going to take my time.
And contact but no whistle on Jaffe Medor. Ahead to Johnson. And Medor is going to slow things down. Foul down low, and it's Fuchs who's saying he's grabbing me. The referee will disagree, and I believe that will be Zona who will head to the line. So that was 24 on 24, and Zona will head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Here's House. Over to Green. Green into the paint. Trying to give it up. Gives it to Thomas. Thomas kicks it back out. Jabunji with the kick to House. House can't hit. Rhode Island needs a basket in the worst way. Instead, it's Fordham possession.
Good possession. Good shot by Rhode Island. But right now, Fordham's going to be extremely patient.
Dean thought about a three. Here's Zona to Rivera. 8 on the shot clock. Rivera back to Zona. He's wide open for three. And that rolls out. And Green secures it. Thomas can't handle it. Thomas to his left hand. Now the crossover. Tries to slip a pass through. And here's House. House is hit, and House will go to the line. Fordham's been playing some defense in this game.
So their system is completely based on attitude, but it's measured. They measure floor dives. They measure deflections, steals, offensive rebounds, screen assists. And I mean, when I say they emphasize it, they stat it, they watch it on video, they do drills on those things. Yesterday, I mean, they've had over 100 practices. First thing they do in practice is loose ball drills. So these guys will play hard, but the defensive results just weren't there this year. The depth of this team wasn't great, and certain people didn't have a great year on the defensive end. But you know, this system should produce a great defensive effort night in, night out.
And Rhode Island has got almost 6 minutes without a field goal. The last 11 points have all come from the free throw line. Johnson with a spin. Johnson kicks. Rivera from 3, too strong. Zona there for the rebound. Contact down low. And possession is going to head toward Rhode Island. We're going to call it a foul, and to the free throw line, we will walk.
Yeah, you really don't obviously want to foul up late in the game. And Zona probably didn't need to make that effort on that offensive rebound. But again, he's taught every day. Attitude is offensive rebounding, so it's hard to unteach something once you've taught it.
It sends David Green to the free throw line, who shoots it at 77%. Do you expect this kind of performance from Fordham coming in here?
It's a great question. I did expect them, based on what I said, they're training with attitude and what they do in practice every day to play hard. I absolutely expected that.
Here's Zona, and Zona up ahead to Johnson. Johnson to the rim, and Johnson puts it down. Good look by Zona.
I didn't expect Rhode Island to be taken by surprise, though, and fall behind so early. They fought hard, but the hole was just too deep. Could be a battle. There's George Washington waiting for their next opponent. Killing some time today on their off day that they earned through a bye.
Here's Sebastian Thomas trying to create some quick offense. Can't get it. Put back not there. And Fordham comes down with the board.
And good job by not fouling. They contested that shot but pulled back. They clearly talked about that in the last time out. Not fouling, stopping the clock.
Now Fordham just going to drain some clock. Johnson takes his time. Johnson pull up. I mean, he has just been unbelievable.
He's just got game, man. The guy
29.
He can ball. He can create shots.
Three-pointer off the mark. Fordham brings it down. That's Dean. We talked a lot about Johnson and Medor, and rightfully so, but Dean has 14 points to go along with his 5 boards, and Rivera has 11 to go along with his 7 boards.
As I said, Medor, Johnson, clearly all conference caliber players, but didn't get certain votes probably because similarly talented players just had better team seasons. These guys are as good as there is in terms of a backcourt in the A-10, and George Washington has their hands full tomorrow. And George Washington likes to pressure, and quick guys like Johnson and Medor invite pressure because they know they could beat it. Then Rafael Castro waiting at the rim, that's a factor too.
Sure is. Jaffe Medor back to the free throw line, and this is really how Fordham built that lead in half number 1. He was 9 of 9 from the free throw line before that shot, so he's 10 of 10 from the stripe, and he stays perfect. Thomas out for House. House from 3. Can't hit it. Dean comes down with the rebound, and he walked. How much noise do you feel like Fordham can make beyond this game?
It's game by game. Tomorrow will be a good game, them and GW. The thing about Fordham is the backcourt is terrific, and athletically they can match up with people.
As they have proven. And Timbila comes down with the rebound. And Medor will bring it across for the victory. 88-71 over Rhode Island as the coaches meet at midcourt. Well, the 8-game losing streak comes to a conclusion. Guards in the tournament, they always seem to play such a pivotal and crucial role. And when you have 2 guards playing like that,